Welcome to Write to Publish, your go-to podcast for all things writing and publishing. I'm Karen Stanley, a 14 times published author and the founder of Mabel and Stanley Publishing. Join me as I share a multitude of tips and insights drawn from my own writing and publishing journey. We'll be hearing from some inspirational authors too, who will share their writing experiences and top tips for success. Each week, we'll learn about an aspect of writing, from composition to genre and from publishing to marketing. Listen in as we learn and chat about all things writing and publishing, and let's get you on the right path. Hello and welcome to another episode of Write to Publish with me, Karen Stanley, and this is author interview month, or months should I say, throughout September and October. We've had some fabulous author interviews with some of the lovely Mabel and Stanley authors talking about their journey, about how they found the writing process, the challenges of publishing and all of the above. And today I'm joined by the gorgeous Sandra Hughes even, who is one of our founder members. She was with us right from the beginning, so it's lovely to have you here today, Sandra.
It's lovely to be here. Thanks, Karen.
So tell us a little bit about your book, the book that you wrote, for example, and a little bit also might help, a little bit of background about who you are and what you do, because that was kind of the reason behind your book, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a physiotherapist and a hypnotherapist, as well as teaching Pilates as well. So very much a body-mind approach to all the work that I do to help my clients. And one of the elements that I wanted to be able to sort of share a bit more with some of my clients was how I help people with anxiety. Because very often people didn't realise that they actually needed any support in that department. People have been just putting it down to, well, I'm just a bit of a worrier, that's how I've always been, and who I am and stuff like that. And I spend a bit of time explaining to people that it is possible to change that if it's not helping you get to where you want to be. So that's when I wrote my book, Calm Your Worry Warrior. It might be back to front on the screen there, but anyway. Calm your worry warrior and allow your true self to appear. So really outlines how our stress response can impact our well-being, and what you can do to influence that, how you can calm that stress response, because our brain can get pre-wired to always responding in a particular way, and it's about changing the perspective, changing the perception of how we see things sometimes, in order to be able to feel a bit more calmer so that we feel happier and healthier.
Yeah, wonderful. And it always makes me smile when, kind of the brain and the body are treated as separate entities when they're kind of linked quite a lot, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. It's completely intrinsic. The brain influences the body, but the body also influences the brain. It's a complete cycle of information that's being constantly exchanged between both. So have a huge influence on, mind has a huge influence on our physical body. Yeah. But also our body can influence how we feel.
Yeah, mindset can be everything, can't it? So obviously your book was a non-fiction book, and it was designed for your business. So what was it that motivated you to write a book that was very much obviously about your business? And you've been doing this a long time. You've got several areas of expertise, but it was focusing on one particular area of expertise. So what was it that kind of, persuaded you to write a book for your business? What were your thoughts behind that process?
I think it was really to have a product that really explains to people how they can make a difference, how they can change, but also sort of to introduce them to the concept, particularly people that I would see from a physiotherapy point of view, where they were presenting with a lot of muscle tension and frequent episodes of different pains, which can very often be created by an ongoing sort of anxiety state. So I wanted that product to be able to say, hey, have a read of this, see how you think. See if you think it might be relevant to you. Which it has helped a number of people sort of understand that concept and shift from thinking this is just a physical issue, let's see if I can change how I feel emotionally as well. So it was really just to get the message out more widely. I think that's really the fundamental basis of why I decided to set out and do it. And I think I had all this information in my head, and sometimes to be able to explain it all in detail can obviously take quite a long time. So it's quite good to have a product that I can give to my clients as they go away and have a read of that, see what you think, come back and let me know if it's something that interests you.
And also, I mean, having a business book's great for credibility, isn't it? It's great for your kudos. It's a great, I mean, there's no lead magnet like a book for sort of bringing people into your world and understanding, it's your voice in your absence, I always say. So it's people can really get to know you in the comfort of their own home. It's not very non-confrontational. And do you feel like that the book has done those things for you in your business?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think if people see that you've written a book, they think, wow, she must know about what she's talking about. And obviously when they read it, there's proof there as well. So yeah, it certainly helps from that point of view, definitely. Being able to, see that product and be able to put yourself down as an author in that subject certainly helps, raise your profile as well.
Yeah, because there's still and rightly so, there's still a lot of kudos attached to writing a business book because, it's not for the faint of heart, is it? It's just a long process. It takes commitment, it takes dedication, it takes bravery, a bit of courage really to put yourself out there. So, there's still that real credibility attached to that process. What did you find the most challenging about writing your book? What were the challenges that you encountered?
Well, I think really the challenges came along before I started working with you, to be perfectly truthful, because I was going to be writing this book, and I said I was going to be writing a book for a good number of years before I actually started doing it. I mean, I started writing it, but I never really pulled it all together. I kept looking at different angles. Should I do it from this point of view? Should I do it from that point of view? So it was really about getting the clear direction about how I wanted to portray all this information. That was probably the first challenge. But obviously when I met you and we started talking about writing a business book, I had a lot more clarity really about how I could do that, how I could bring all this information, all these files of information that I'd already typed for quite a long time, but not really got forward with it. And also the other thing is, because I was doing it in the background of all the other work that I was doing, it was having that accountability. So I would always put it off. I would always think, oh, there's something else for me to be doing. Oh, I'll do that. I'll sort that out another time. So those were the challenges that I kind of encountered. And so they were probably more so prior to meeting you and working with you. So yeah,
and that's the thing. It's so easy to put it on the back burner, isn't it? Because it takes so long, and life gets lifey and gets in the way. It's having that accountability is really helpful. And I think one of the things, you have to really know what the objectives are, what you want that book to achieve. Because if you don't know really, we'll talk about this in a minute. If you don't know exactly who you're speaking to and what message you're getting over and what you want to achieve from that book, one of the challenges can be that you've got so many ideas, you can sort of go off on a tangent, can't you, and try to include it all. And you think, well, that's actually 3 books. It's not 1 book.
Yeah, absolutely. And for you to give me that advice at the beginning, which to say, just write to one person, just write to that one person. So focus on one kind of client that you want that message to be received by, as it were, allowed me to kind of clear the way of all those different ideas that I had, and focusing on specifically one particular client group. So that was really, really helpful.
Good. Oh, that's good. I'm glad about that. Because there is a tendency, you want to write all of the things for all of the people, and then it all gets a bit woolly, doesn't it? And you wonder kind of, well, it's like getting in the car with no sat nav on. So I do sort of talk about this quite a lot. That first group, which was really the birth of Mabel and Stanley, were you guys, the 5 writers who joined my writing academy, which is back in 2021, if you can believe that. That feels craziness. And it's come a long way since then. But I think all of you it was such a lovely group, and everyone was so supportive of each other. And I was speaking to Jackie the other day, who was in the group with us, and she said she really found being part of a community really helpful. Just to have, I mean, I remember, I can't remember which one of you had got the book finished first, and I remember Beverly Bunn, who was in the group as well. She was so excited, and it wasn't even her that was finished, and I just loved that feeling of, support. Did you find it helpful to be with other people?
Oh, absolutely. It was really good. It was great to have that experience of other people going through the firsts as well, if you like. And to know that we were all working together towards a publishing date as well. That was really good, having that sort of collective celebration, if you like, where we got there as well, which was really lovely too. So knowing that other people were going through, I think I was the only person that was doing non-fiction, but it was lovely to see the growth of the other stories that people were writing as well, the fiction books as well. So yeah, it was lovely to have that collaboration and support, so you didn't feel like you were just kind of doing it on your own. Really did make a difference, definitely.
Yeah, that's good. It was such a lovely group. Yeah, I mean, those accountability measures can mean everything. Having a deadline, because like I said before, it's one of those things. If you've got no deadline, it's fatal. You'll just, I don't know how many people come to me and say, I've been writing this book since 1935 and I haven't got any further. So, well, have you got a deadline? Well, not really. I'm like, well, that's probably, kind of splitting it down into manageable chunks, knowing how fast you write, knowing how many words you've got to write. You sort of break it into little bits then, rather than this whole big project that feels like an enormous mountain to climb. It's like anything in life, really, in business, isn't it? You've got to make it manageable, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, planning it out in that way it really made a difference, definitely. I mean, I probably would have still just been a load of ideas in my head if I hadn't met you and worked with the group to be able to bring it all together.
Yeah, and it's so worth it, isn't it? I mean, did you feel that? I mean, I've written quite a few books now, but that feeling never gets old, and it comes through the post. It's got your name. I know you had a bit of another little kind of life change. You got married, didn't you, in between it coming out? So you've
absolutely, yeah. So I republished. Yeah, absolutely. I think that was last year. I'm losing track of the years, but I got married in 2022. But last year I republished the book. I made a few additions to it, but the biggest addition was change the name on the front of the cover. So
that's nice.
Yeah,
but it's a one of the things feeling.
Yeah, it is. And I think one of the really good things that was helpful as well for me writing a business book is to really clarify your process, how you work and what you do, which sometimes we do these things without thinking about process because it becomes intuitive when we're working. So it was really good to be able to stop and think, okay, how do I deliver my work? How do I work? What process do I follow? Which obviously, if you've got a process to follow, you're going to find, you've got better results because you can duplicate that success. And that was the other thing that the book could do was to demonstrate the success that I've had with clients, because I've got a lot of case stories in there as well. And that was really nice to be able to go back and reflect on all of those when I was writing it and seeing the difference that, that I've made with clients. So, yeah, that was helpful.
Oh, it just brings so much good stuff, doesn't it? Like you say, it brings clarity for your business. It brings clarity for what you do. It helps you kind of formulate a plan and your strategy. And it's really it's a really sort of multifaceted thing, really, isn't it? So thinking about this book, do you think you'd ever write another?
Possibly. I wouldn't say no. I definitely wouldn't say no.
Just recovering.
I am always looking at new ideas and different ways of moving the business forward and working on different projects. And I do like, to always be kind of growing, if you like. So it is possible. It is possible that there could be another sort of chapter, if you like, another or few chapters, I should say, following on from this one, because there are a number of different areas that I work with So I'm sure there's loads more advice that I could collect. Again, I probably need that accountability and make sure that I've got a deadline to do it, and the support that obviously you provide to make sure that that it gets done. But I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. Maybe in
well, it's
another
good to
year.
know you haven't been completely traumatised by the whole process.
No,
That's always good to know.
I mean, like you said, it is hard work, and you do need to have the time to, to be able to apply yourself to it. And I think if you can allocate that time, and you have got the time in your schedule amongst all the other projects and priorities that you've got, then it's a great thing to be able to say you've got a book, you've published a book, and it's I wouldn't mind doing another one, I have to say. I'm very good at accepting new ideas and thinking, oh yeah, maybe I should do that. So you might have sown a seed here to get going.
Planted the seed. And of course, what a lot of authors will come to me, and the marketing of the book is no mean feat either, is it? I've spoken to lots of people who think, I'll write a book, I'll publish it, and that's kind of it. I don't have to do anything else. But I always say to them, that's sort of like opening a shop and not telling anyone the address. You don't, it's not just a natural, you publish it and that's it. What sort of things have you done to market your book and share your book with your readers?
Well, we started off with the launch when we first wrote the book or first published the book, and then I've done other things that events that you've done as well, Karen, like a coffee morning kind of event, wasn't it, where we had a promotion event with our books. I very often will share this with physio clients, to help people understand this a little bit more. I have done webinars as well, where I share a bit more information about what's in the book, to help people understand it. But again, so like I say, I use this as a marketing tool for my business as much as I do to market the book to sell, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's why it's not,
when I go to network meetings, where I'm looking at, connecting with other business owners, I'll take my books with me and help people to see that, like you say, it's a good business card, if you like, that's got a lot more in it than just a little piece of paper. So
I mean, it's pretty impressive calling cards, isn't it? It is pretty impressive, and you're right. You know,
and it is available on. Sorry.
No, go on.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say, and it's available on Amazon. So even if I'm posting things on Facebook, I can just put a link in there, say you can buy it from Amazon. It's easily available, and so that's a really good marketing platform with it being there as well. So that it's just it's easy to be able to obtain a copy.
Yeah, and that's the point, isn't it? It just becomes part of your marketing funnel. It's never going to stand alone on its own and do all of the jobs on its own. But it's a wonderful thing to take with you, to share, to create content. If you speak anywhere, it's a wonderful it is a wonderful kind of lead magnet, really, isn't it? To sort of talk about what you do. So, if you were going to give someone out there who's thinking, do you know what? I want a piece of that action. I'm going to write myself a business book, or I'm thinking about it. What would be your kind of top tips, or what would be the one bit of takeaway advice that you think you really need to consider this, or if anything at all?
Well, I probably would say, get somebody who knows what they're doing to work alongside you, as I did with you, because I think that is really the most valuable thing. And it's really having somebody as well to help sort of coach you with the ideas that you've got, so that you can clarify some of those ideas, and to make sure that it feels like it's a good flow with what you're doing. I mean, certainly before you start, have the idea of how you want to use it if you're working at a business book. So, just deciding on who you're going to write to in the first instance, really. Who is it that you want this message to be shared to? And then look at, what information have you got? Brainstorm all those different ideas, and then begin to start to look at a process of how you can deliver those in the book. But certainly having a coach, or having somebody, as I say, like yourself, Karen, who's got the technical know-how as well as the understanding of, how to put a book together, how to publish a book, how to get it in print, and all of those things, because those things can be a bit overwhelming to start with. If you've got somebody else that says, "Don't worry, we've just got to use your knowledge," and obviously, my writing skills, but you can check to make sure that they're reasonable writing skills. To have you say, "It's okay, I can take the load with regards to." Where to publish it, how to publish it, what the keywords are that you might need to include when you're looking at, uploading it, and, all that kind of technical know-how that's invaluable, because, I'm not a writer, I'm not a publisher, I'm a physio and a hypnotherapist, and obviously those skills aren't something that are top of my list. But having done it, it's amazing how much you learn. It really is. It's amazing how much you learn. So, so thank you for all your support.
Oh, you're so welcome. It was such a pleasure to work with you. The learning curve is quite steep and it's a bit of a minefield, but I think the general message is that it's worth it if you persevere.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. It's a real achievement. And, there's other things that you might find that you achieve, but they kind of go by and you forget that you've done them. But when you've got a book, it's always there to remind you, which is great.
Yeah, it is there. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us today, Sandra. It's lovely to speak to you again, as always, and to hear your pearls of wisdom now that you are a published author. Been there, done it, and bought the T-shirt. If you've
thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. And if you've been listening in today and you would like Sandra's book, it's called Calm Your Worry Warrior. It's a bit of a tongue twister, that bit. And Allow Your True Self to Appear. Obviously, I helped Sandra to edit the book, so I got a sneaky preview. And I have to say, there were some brilliant tips in there. There were lots of things that I read and I thought, oh my God, I do that. I'm going to try that now. So it was really jam-packed with useful information. And if you want to buy a copy of Sandra's book, you can buy it on Amazon. And she would love for you to read it and to live your best life, stress-free, which is what we're all aiming for. Yes, it's been lovely to speak to you all today. If you've liked the podcast, please do share and follow us. That really helps us to get out there. And if you have any questions regarding writing or publishing, or perhaps you want to write your own business book, then please do get in contact with Karen at mabelandstanleypublishing.com. Always great to hear from you. Always happy to help. Thank you for tuning in and see you all again soon.